11, 3, 2. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome. Just Tai now, Psy Tai Podcast. If you already know, Psy Tai Podcast stands for Psychedelic Tai. Just think about it. TAI, not THI like the food. Podcast. That's where you are now. Thanks for tuning in. I got the link to the Discord in the description. I've been testing things out to make sure things can actually run real smoothly. So today we should be able to get the screen up so that we can go online and search stuff like what's going on with magic mushrooms in the news. And other cool news, I upgraded the RAM. I got the RAM to work. The first time I installed it, because remember yesterday, the only reason I'm able to do this because I combined two different computers. Like the mushrooms got my mind like working, like just being in the flow and getting exactly what I need. And so I got the RAM inside of my laptop now. So now I have 8 gigs RAM. So now it doesn't say, wow, it said it for a minute. I would say it doesn't say encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings. But it says it's for a second. But I guess it's still cool because it wasn't working. It goes away. Last time it was just flashing like, your computer cannot handle none of this. Let me make sure I got my mic open. Yeah, I'm open on the Discord and see if this is over here. But to continue to something wait, let me just see if this is right. I don't want to be all jumping around. This is supposed to be smooth. Let me see. I'm testing it out on the iPad. And I got the microphone turned up too. Microphone was way low. I'm testing it out on the iPad. There we go. I got the microphone turned up too. I sound wild. I got the microphone. Microphone checker 1, 2. All right, but yes, everything is all fine and dandy now. Cool. Psycho, what they got on this right here? I gotta go back over. I can click like this. Touchscreen. It says a psychedelic retreat proves a healing trip. California considers decriminalizing magic mushrooms. Which city this time? Check out the ones I made about when Chicago decriminalized it. And I got a video on Santa Cruz and Oakland. Check it out. This is the Santa Cruz one. They just now getting this in San Francisco. So hopefully move up San Francisco. But this cool. California city. Yeah, we did this. We went over this. This is cool, good times that these dried mushrooms is making some headways in the mainstream.
Santa Cruz could join a growing number of cities that are decriminalizing magic mushrooms.
KPX finds get dough on why the move is getting widespread support.
Why?
Santa Cruz is on track to become the 3rd city in the nation to decriminalize mushrooms. At this point, it looks like it's not a question.
Looks like not a question of what? That I think they about to say they're just gonna come out. But if it's gonna be buffering, I'll just let it go. But yeah, the news is saying everything that we've been saying on the Just Tai channel, on True Life channel, for the longest times. That's why I want all of us to come together, share our experiences, make some magic work. I can just go like this, cut that off. Is this focused? Oh, somehow they said I pressed back. I think because I'm doing a display capture. I don't know if I didn't do it. Just now, cause it didn't say encoding overload earlier. But let's continue. Let's keep going on. And something that was on my mind yesterday. Yesterday I was having a conversation. I was talking about RAM. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because I was talking about RAM and stuff like that. And let me put this mic actually in front of me. There we go. I was tying on RAM. Because somebody was asking me a question, my girl was asking me a question about what is RAM? Like, what does it do now that the computer now has RAM? Because I mentioned that it was memory. And she was asking, does that mean that now you could store more stuff on there? So I was equating it to the psychedelic experience and how it revealed to me how I see my body working, how my body relates to an actual computer with the RAM, the hard drive, the software, and the programs. But not go too deep with the RAM. I was just tying to her about how the RAM helps the computer have more memory so that it can run multiple programs at the same time. Like, it's not on a quantum level. Like, it's not talking about these quantum computers, but just it allows you to run more in-depth programs, more higher developed programs that causes, it's like being able, it's like if you upgrade your RAM, upgrading your RAM in this meat sack or whatever this is with psychedelics, and make it seem like equating it to the computer, you're able to now do more or take on more of a higher workload or experience. And it comes out in a lot of different ways, just like it can come out in a lot of different ways depending on what apps you use with your computer. Like now, see, the encoding overload went away. Now my computer is able to is able to handle going live, having tabs open on the computer, having the Discord open, and everything flowing all together. When the RAM wasn't that high up, it wasn't able to. It was like, this too much. It was beyond my capability. So it was still able to do cool things, a lot of awesome things, but it was only able to do it in a certain environment. It couldn't do more. It couldn't handle more. So upgrading the RAM, it seemed like mushrooms and microdosing especially helps upgrade your, and I do not promote the use of illegal or illegal drugs in this show. I'm not telling you to go do any of this. This is a recollection of my experiences and other people's stories that decide to hop on and tell their stories as well. This is for education and harm reduction purposes only. But upgrading the RAM is like now, with microdosing, now I'm able to do more. I'm literally able to do more without having so much stress. In order to get through it. That's how some people, they say how we grow up, say you got to be under pressure. I think I know what I'm talking about. Hold on, that when you go under pressure, that's the only time they're able to do things, or they seem like they always something else besides that. Like when you're under a lot of pressure, but you like, I gotta get this done, but it seems like it's so much pressure that it can like really beat you down, like you're at your limit. And some people don't like know they limit so much that they don't even try to reach their limit, like overclock their system or something. But you overclock the hard drives, but like use their full use of RAM. Like your full use of RAM is not even always being used up. So it's like microdosing and mushrooms and DMT and all of this together and LSD is like, it shows you what your body would be if you had like 1,000 gigs RAM. Like computers now run like 16 gigs RAM. If you got good ones, 64 gigs RAM. I was working with 4 for the longest. So the things I was able to output with my creativity wasn't able to. It was like a frustration in between because it was not able to whatever my creative spirit or soul wanted to do, it wasn't able to fully experience it in this reality through the computer because of how much RAM it had. You know what I'm tying on? And I'm just tying on the story, combining that with the mushrooms and how if we have more upgraded RAM, we upgrading our operating system, our OS, like you heard it before said in the past, then now we're able to create different environments, different OS. OS is like your operating system. That basically is your environment that you exist in. But you're able to now customize it, have more HD graphics, have more shortcuts, do more creative things like run Adobe After Effects. Get some cool Blender animation going on. I'm trying to get into that too using Blender. I want to hook up a Connect and create a whole motion capture studio. They said I need to buy a Connect for the Xbox One and then hook it up to Blender, and that's basically all I need. And I can hook it up, and then I can start doing some animations without having to individually move it. I can just create like a model figure in there, and then I can just hook up the camera and bang, just move around and track my body. Then we gonna make some movie time. Movie time. That's movie time. Can't wait for movie time. Make sure to individually move it. I can just create. Cool, it's still on. Right, let me share this video. Dun, dun, dun. This is working smoothly. Currently live, folks. Let me post it on Facebook. Just in case somebody want to jump in and tell their story. Just want to make sure everything is always available. Always available. Post. Why did they put that thumbnail there? I did not choose that thumbnail. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah. Looking at my body like a hyperdimensional computer. Well, I keep fixing this like I'm using this mic. But looking at my body like a hyperdimensional computer, it benefits me. It benefits me in unlocking new keys to what's going on behind the veil, as well as integrating it into here. Because that's all I'm doing is integrating. Whenever I'm talking or tying, or whenever anybody is tying, or talking or giving you information or saying they giving you information, all they doing is integrating in that moment. They're integrating some kind of experience into this reality, into this body, and that's the only reason they tying on it, because it's still integrating inside of them. No, I titled this "What Is It to Die?" and I was talking about computers and RAMs for the longest. But yeah, that's just podcasting. But I was saying podcasting and then saying, oh yeah, you got to talk about something that you want to rage against. that thought just popped in my head. Like, yo, and it's wild, guys. It's wild when you really start meditating. When you really start meditating and observing your thoughts on these substances and off these substances, and seeing the back and forth flow going with yourself. Who is doing the talking? Who is doing the talking? Where are your thoughts coming from? And it's something. A movie came to my mind, the Now You See Me movie. The Now You See Me, that about the magicians and how they didn't really do real magic, but they was putting code words out by like following a person they knew they was gonna call on the stage for like 4 days, and following him, saying little words past his ear. So then when he finally got to the show, he said what they was saying to him, whispering in his ear, and it was just like activated. I don't think many people understand how activated. I don't think many people understand how activated we are. And how much we really are running off of a thought that was bubbling up already from probably 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 seconds ago. And it really keeps a silent, observant mind in order to not react emotionally off of it. Because I think once you act emotionally off of it, that's when you're choosing to create a personality in this 3D. Like now, based off of that emotion that you did. Now that's downloaded into your 3D, into this biological robot body. I'm tying it together. And into your into your biological robot body. Oh gosh, like I be tying so much. I just be going off the train, going off the rip. Where you gonna see me pause like this? But anyways, I was tying on thoughts and where they come from. And that ties in what I had the video about letting go. The reason why y'all hear me like forget things, or not even forget things, but lose my train of thought, is because I'm not so rigid in what I'm trying to get out. I'm not like, I got this to say, it's going out now. Like sometimes it probably kind of start off like that, but not really. Not really. So it all goes on with trying to attach to these thoughts, and where does these thoughts come from? And when, that's what I was saying, when you put so much emotion, when you put emotion and attaching it to a passing thought, it's like you jumping on that train, or you jumping on whatever it is, and you just bringing it down to here. And then like, it was all floating in the fifth or sixth dimension. And then you brought it here through time. You were just somewhere in time and brought it through the fourth and down to the third. Now you experiencing what it is to have that emotion. And it's like, as long as we're here, we're always choosing some kind of emotion to rely on, to go off of. And when I get off of my train, it's because I'm not really attaching myself to my thoughts. I don't see myself as particularly my thoughts. That's why I just try to throw in sometimes like, just Tai. Just think about these things. I used to say that all the time when I pause, because it was just think about. It wasn't for me to, that's all it is. For you to just think, just tie on it. Just tie about it. That's what I'm doing. I'm just tying on it. And it really is a difference, because it's a lot of frauds out here. I was watching Dakota Earth. And what I mean by frauds is just people that's not really walking the talk. But they're doing the best that they can. They really are, for their realm of reality. But not really walking the talk. And it was a surprise to me. I was watching Dakota Earth. He's a YouTuber, and he was talking about this guy, Koi. And I used to get into Koi a little bit, but it was something strange about him. But he was like so-called calling him out and talking about how he was gypping his followers, like taking their money, not really giving them what he was promising. And now he doesn't really do YouTube that much, and he's traveling the world, and people are like complaining about what they received from donating to the channel, and donating for particular items and things, and said they was gonna help him. And he's saying he was rude and stuff in like confrontations. And to not even be on Koi, because I don't know the kid. I never met him in his life. Dakota met him before in real life. So I was just going off his word for right now. But it's a lot of people that's talking, and they never had a psychedelic experience before. And while I'm on this tidbit, Paul Stamm has brought this out, and I brought this out before, way back, is that the people that are capitalizing on the magic mushroom psilocybin industry, like already, they never had a psychedelic experience. And Paul Stamm was saying that he talked to these people that's starting big companies, because they wanted his advice and stuff. And he said, hey, you ever had a heroic dose experience or a light dose? And they told him no. So I'm putting it out there so that Just Tai, True Life, we're going to be in this industry. We already are in this industry. The surveying, the letting out, the video diaries, the creative projects. All this is brought about by our magic psilocybin mushroom experiments and dimethyltryptamine experience. People coming in with their peyote experience, LSD experience, and we're all tying it out together. We all tying it out together and creating a community, or connecting a community. Not creating, but connecting communities, because we're already together. We just had to speak up about it. So now moving forward, I wish to have places where people can come in and have these experiences. That's what I want to tie on. When I first moved to California, that's what I wanted to do. I said, and I didn't even really know about mushrooms and things like that. Kind of something trying to come through. I didn't really know about mushrooms like that. I just knew about psychedelics, and I had one mushroom trade. Couples asked about. I said I wanted to help people in a way where they can have the experience for themselves. And I remember reading Vice articles of people that was having these secret things going on where they would help people out, like older people, like 40s and 50s, and they would call this kid over to guide them through an experience. I was like, I want to do that in a legalized setting, a legal setting, and be able to be able to help people. And even on the ground, if we gotta rent a bus, if we gotta rent that that trailer that King God's putting out there, and just travel around and do what it do, like the old hippie magic school bus. It's a lot of possibilities. There's so many possibilities out there. But what I was saying was that none of the people that's already capitalizing off of it, like money wise and stocks and stuff, they have not had these experiences themselves. And I think everybody should raise an eyebrow to that. And look what happened with the cannabis industry. And it's a cool thing too. It's still a cool thing. But look how it's it's just something more to it. It's something more to it. Because cannabis we have cannabinoids in our system and stuff already. And I was just going to say, cannabis is a mild psychedelic, especially in edible form. Especially when you eat in the edible, it is a psychedelic. And Joe Rogan was talking about that's why he don't put his name out there to promote marijuana, like for the big companies. Because he said when you get into the edible range, you start dealing with something different, and he didn't want to be responsible because the way that the companies is pushing it out there, they're not helping you with the psychological dealings that go on, or the mind warping reality of what you have to deal with now. They're just selling it to you like a drug dealer. That's all they are, drug dealers. They huge ass drug dealers. And now they trying to put everything out. Hold on, I gotta go with this thought. Hey, why did it post it like that? Not bad, guys. If y'all listening, I was trying to see why when it posted it, all it did was it didn't post the thumbnail. It just posted saying, YouTube, enjoy the videos and music you love. Well, that's cool. That's alright. But yeah. I just think, as always, starting from the underground and building things up for yourself, and just building up everything. Like it seems like I am here alone, but with the motivation of everyone that's been here on the channel and talking to people individually is really helping everything grow, because it's like a never-ending story type situation. where people will ask, how do you believe that your art will change the world? And I say that my art already changed the world, because my art is your art. It's our art. It's already making waves. It's already making waves. Sometimes I be like, man, did I jump into a dimension where now mushrooms are becoming decriminalized and legalized and stuff like that? And if I would have never took them, would I have still been in that reality where it never happened? And I was still asking a bunch of questions, praying and stuff. Just die. But yes, going for the experience for yourself. Remember, I'm not promoting, I'm not saying go do this. I'm just repeating my experiences. Do not recreate anything. Don't recreate it. That's the last time I'm going to say this. Going for your own experiences really switches up the game. Because I'll give you an example. I've never still done DMT yet. I've never done dimethyltryptamine in the free base form. So I brought it up to someone that I thought did it before. But as soon as I had that thought, a thought came to my head to not really mention it. So I went against that thought and I mentioned it because he know about mushrooms. He done a lot of things. He's an older white guy, like in his 30s. He grows weed and stuff like that. So I said, you ever hear of... So after going around that thought, I still asked. And what he said was, oh, whoa, I don't think you really want to do that. And he gave the whole spiel. And then I found out that he was saying, yeah, I know somebody that did. And he said ayahuasca is a lot better because you with the spirits. With DMT, is like it's just you. And you in a white room and it's cool, but it's just you. So I was seeing that he had a kind of experience that wasn't all the way up to his favor. Then he told me that. He said, yeah, I had a favor, and he was going on a taste. Just everything he was saying was how bad it was. He's going about taste. I said, yeah, I heard it tastes like mothballs, and I talk to people all the time that do their own experience and stuff, but he was just adequate on letting me know about his experience and about how he couldn't even ingest enough on the first hit to really go to experience it. So luckily I had talked to a lot of people already and had my own experience under my belt with some higher doses in psilocybin to recognize what was going on in front of me, which was truth, but not the absolute truth. And I think a lot of times without our own experiences, we take people's word for absolute truth, or we take people's experiences, people's subjective experiences for objective truth. And we do this so naturally, so quickly that our reality is now shaped and now morphed and merged with their trip, even though you never tripped before. Or had that experience before. A lot of people scared from skydiving, hiking, snakes. It's a whole lot of fears. There's a whole lot of fears out here. Even working out. I used to not want to work out literally because I had the thought that people that worked out were jocks and was assholes or it was like bird brains, even though we found out now birds are really smart, but didn't have a brain like a analytical brain to them. So I never really wanted to get big. I never had no desire to want to go to the gym. Growing up, it probably would have helped so much and allowed me to be focused and not get so lost. But still, I like that. I love the path that I've taken. But still, that was just a fear. That was something that I heard probably on a cartoon and something like one phrase, and I developed it and strengthened it by my view and outlook on the world. And then I strengthened it so much where it wasn't even a second, third, or fifth thought until I had a mushroom experience that literally was like, if you want to encapsulate a lot more of the experience, you need to get your body in shape. You need to get your body in tune in ways of jogging in the morning and literally signing up for the gym. And the next week I went and signed up for the gym. And it's been about a year now. I kind of missed the summer though, because I didn't have enough money to pay for the bill for like 3 months. But that's alright. You find ways around. There's always a way around. Well, now I'm back on it. And now I started skateboarding again. And skateboarding allows my body to like get some more muscle, not just strength, but reflexibility. Get my reflex up to like a par that is amazing. Cause you ever play with acid or after mushrooms, and your reflex is just like it's just on part. Like, oh, it flicked open. I got excuses for days, but just like. And you know, like I didn't even see that coming. I wasn't even thinking about that coming. I just grabbed it. Like I experienced this a lot when I was working, doing microdosing, doing acid. For the first time, I mean, not a lot. I still experienced it. For the first time doing acid when I was working at the ice cream shop, and I used to have to flip cups and stuff like that. Like it was what was that? It was like a bar. That's like a bar thing. Cause it was like the ice cream shop was like a bar parlor with soda and stuff like that. We had to pour it in there and stuff and mix different sodas with the carbonated water. So I used to like playing around because I had a lot of free time and I was on. So I used to be flipping cups around and just having fun and just catching things, and people like, yo, you got some good reflexes. But skateboarding is allowing me to like do something with those reflexes, because you lose them. You lose reflexes and you lose a lot of touch. You lose, if you don't use it, you literally lose it. And it's like we lost a lot of our mind because we don't use it as much as we did when we were kids, pushing ourselves because our minds was just already out there. And we like, yo, I see what I am and I'm going to push my body to go and do this. By the time we so-called grow up, we like, I am who I am. My mind gets caught up with my body and this is what it is. And that's so depressing. That's so depressing of a life to keep on living with. To keep on living on and keep on saying stuff like that. I want to share this too. No, I don't want to boost this post. Let's do this. I'm gonna go live on Instagram too. I have no idea how this works. And I can't see anything. I forgot. My front camera doesn't work in that live video. I'm just wasting time. I'm so sorry. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, my front camera. Front camera is just purple. It's like blinks. I need to return it. But yep. That's how it goes. Open back up this up just in case somebody right. Speaking of which, that news. I woke up at 5:30 this morning. 5:30. I went to sleep so early last night. I had a dab from the buddy I was telling about the story. Oh, I got another mushroom story. From the same guy telling about me about DMT. He was telling me a story about how his friend had a friend that lived up in the mountains, was on some mushrooms, had some mushrooms. And he was like, yo, I got some special I got some special mushrooms with some gold flakes on it. I got some gold flakes. Since I made it hit extra hard. It was like really potent. It was really up there. And then to find out what it was vermiculite. With some leftover vermiculite. Because when you grow mushrooms, they grow out of vermiculite if you grow them off of a cake. It is if you grow them off a BRF cake, which is brown rice flour cake. And if you grow them with brown rice flour cake, that's is one part, I'm probably messing, I don't want to say ingredients, but it's mixed with vermiculite, brown rice flour, and water. So when it grows off of the cake on the side, the end of it can have some, and it's the color of gold, like brown. It's kind of shiny. It can have that on there. So this guy was all hype. And this is just how thoughts be going. This is how thoughts be going. Thoughts can run reality. And somebody could have never corrected him. He could have never ran across, and he would have thought that that was a truth for the rest of his life. That those gold, that vermiculite, that is non-organic to begin with, so it doesn't have nothing to do with anything, made his trip go that much higher. That's the kind of stuff that puts me in my Rick mode. My Rick mode from Rick and Morty. Just to relate it, like, what? Ah, come on, Morty. Yeah, but I had a dab. I forget what, it was strong. It was nice. It tasted like oranges. It was nice dab. It tastes like oranges. And because I have dabs a lot, it really lets me know that weed can be mildly psychedelic. Because my neighbor, he didn't have his dab for like a week. And it like gives you this head punch. Like I like sativa dabs that don't really sit your body down like indica, but make you like, whoa, I'm woke now. I need to get some air, or I need to just sit down and breathe. Like that's all the psychoactive stuff that's in there, hitting you all in one punch. Yo, and it's a correlation. It's a correlation between dabs and this thing that's around the bush. And I'm not going to mention the person or the name that I know who have done this, but know that it is possible. It's called they term it in this forms the elixir of the gods, if you wish to look up the recipe. But I just call it one-way ticket. The one-way ticket. That one way. I mean that double way, that trippy way ticket. That tie ticket. That fourth gear room. I don't know. If you got a name, let me know in the comments below what you got. But the process is similar to making dabs. And if you know how, or Rick Simpson oil, as some people know, or honey oil, as I heard somebody try to describe it to me because they didn't think I knew what it was. But it's the process of taking, just like weed, 3 ounces of weed, cannabis, 3 ounces or 2 ounces, whatever it is that you want, of dried mushrooms, getting yourself some grain alcohol or 99 proof alcohol, and mixing it up, and then get yourself a rice cooker or a hot plate or something like that. And then letting the alcohol evaporate naturally, and then like heating it up so it just evaporates the alcohol and leaves behind these white crystals. I think it's like that. Yeah, then I think he said he mixed it back up in the shot. Or I don't even think he evaporated it all. Or it just formed some crystals inside. I don't think he went as far as evaporated. But I think you can. I don't know. But once because I remember him saying he took a shot, so that's what's throwing me off, because it wasn't crystal. I think it was crystals he put back inside of alcohol so that they can like rest in there. So then he took a shot of it, and it was like taking 15-20 grams of mushrooms, because he made a little small bottle, a little small elixir. All 3 grams was just in a little like bottle you would get from the gas station if you wanted, like those little Amsterdam bottles, something like that. Little 2 shots, shot and a half, son. So that was an experience. And he was saying the come up comes on in about 10 minutes, just like it would with a regular shot. And you can dose it because you can say, oh, that wasn't like that much. And then you, like by taking a tiny sip, and then you could take another sip. I said, that's amazing. That's amazing. That exists. And that is for the true psychonauts out there. Do not just go out and go do that, folks. Do not go out and just do that. But hey, who am I? I'm the person on this YouTube channel. Do not go out and just do this. But the experience, he couldn't even formulate it into words. It just was what it was, and it was fantastic. And he came back, and he was very coherent, and he was able to go back about his life. That's the thing about these substances. You come back. Might come back differently, but once you experienced enough, like you start knowing, you start looking forward to coming back different. Instead of wasting 10 years looking for some answer, trying to get it from a scientist or from a guru. It's like you got somewhat of an answer. You got somewhat of an answer through an experience. And that's always cool. That's always cool to get an answer through an experience rather than just somebody telling you something. Now let's look up what's in the news real fast. See if anything pops up. Everybody talking about Santa Cruz. People are deliberately horror tripping on mushrooms. Vice. What is this talking about? I saw this before, but I didn't click on it. People are deliberately horror tripping on mushrooms. A small group of drug users swear by purposely bad trips. In them, they find positive gain rather than just sweaty panic. How long is this? This is a long article. I don't know if I'm gonna read that. But let's see what they say before I have any opinion. What they say? Generally, a bad trip is the last thing you want from a session on psychedelics, when it feels like the darkest corners of your mind slither to the forefront of your thoughts. You usually fumble for a way out, but that's not always the case. Dark trips help you see things in a way that good trips won't let you, says Equate 26 from Ojai, a small city northwest of Los Angeles. Dark trips grab you by the skull and shake the shit out of you. He would know. He turned to horror tripping, intentionally going down a negative cerebral path to challenge yourself while going through heroin withdrawal. Wow. I want to read the rest. And as an LSD veteran, Enrique knew the power of psychedelics, but he says magic mushrooms delivered a sense of clarity like nothing else. Letting in the darkness by tripping teaches you a lesson. Letting in the darkness by tripping, yep, and you damn well pay attention to it. Oh, shout outs to Sobhan Warwicker. Sohan Warwicker. Thanks for writing this, because I'm reading your words, not mine. His defining moment came when he was tripping with a friend who also lived with a heroin use disorder. I looked over and saw he was surrounded by a deep red energy above his head. The Grim Reaper was hanging there as if to say, "You're mine now." It was heroin addiction personified. The red energy around my friend crept over to me. I realized that I too had been trapped by addiction. Hold on. Alright, I was making sure this was still in. I realized too I was trapped by... Wait. I've been trapped by addiction and the Grim Reaper was watching me. Ultimately, he says that experience helped him stop using heroin. Now he lives at home with his parents, working as a restaurant pot washer and playing guitar, binge watching Netflix and smoking weed in his time off. Justin, 33, and from North London, knows their horror tripping potential well. Throughout his 20s, the law graduate, he graduated from law school, held a high-pressure job at a finance company in Canary Wharf, but he didn't find it mentally stimulating, and the rigid environment began to send... Whoa. What happened there? What done happened there? But he didn't find it mentally stimulating. The rigid environment began to send his social anxiety spiraling. My soul was telling me, get the fuck out of here. So he quit. He took part-time shift to work in customer service while living with his parents. With his newfound headspace, he sought resolutions for his anxiety, receiving emotional coaching and partaking in silence and meditation retreats. Now, Justin works as a coach himself. Though he enjoys the exhilaration, his purpose for horror tripping is more than a quick thrill or creep value. It's like when Luke Skywalker meets Darth Vader. Skywalker is actually facing up to the shadow of himself. It's the same as bringing up dark parts of your psyche and forcing yourself to look at them. Yeah, Carl Jung, they bring up Carl Jung concept of the shadow, the dark night of the soul, facing that part of yourself, that those thoughts that you never wanted to experience. You never wanted to experience before. Justin, done correctly, Justin believes existential dark tripping experiences are gilded with long-term benefits. One of their group had been in a serious car crash accident the previous year. On shrooms, he broke down as he fully absorbed how close he come to death. Then Justin says he started seizing opportunities and switched careers, lesson learning as an essential part of the process. I love that this is in there. I love because it's not all about the flowers and the daisies and finding, just trying to search for love. This is where it separates. This is where it separates the oh God, this where the water from the fire. This separates the water from the fire. I'm gonna read one more, and then I'm gonna tell you about my experience. See, the 34-year-old. If you want to face your demons, you go to therapy. He continues. Besides, the challenges we learn from in everyday life are accidental. The problem with trying to speed up the process is that the lessons we need are not always the ones we know we need. A trip is going to make you less of an arsehole in your next relationship. Yes. It's like we working on all this stuff, but then the mushroom, like, this is what you need to work on. Like, you've been wasting your time, motherfucker. You've really been wasting your time. Can y'all even see this? Hold on. As long as it's up there, right? Let me do this. There it goes. That's better. Alright, now we know in the future, we're just going to make it full screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, people don't really know what it means to sit down with their demons. They like to exercise their demons or give up their self to demons. I like saying I died for my own sins. I died for my own sins, for my own causes. And I found out that I wasn't even really sinning. I was just lost up in the sauce. And now, but it's things that I was going wrong, but I didn't even know why I was doing it wrong. And then they allow me to know why I was doing it wrong. Face them things. See, the 34-year-old Liberian from Windsor was so enthusiastic about personal growth through shrooms that she attempted a supercharged trip by consuming 10 grams of Aztec gods in one sitting. This stream of mushroom was considered a holy sacrament to the Aztecs, who named it Tonacala, meaning flesh of the gods. I got thrown into an internal consciousness with a broken back as the gods laughed at and taunted me. It lasted for 6 hours, with the after effects continuing for several days after. The lesson: what we're ready for in a given moment is what will organically unfold before us. Nothing more. Overall, my experience has brought courage and reverence for existence. Every trip has connected me deeper to what lies beyond the veil. It's not recreational. Of course, 10 grams is never recreational, lady. 0.5 microdose. But no, yes, this is very cool. Let's just read the last paragraph. You'll be forgiven for considering 6 hours of taunting from the gods a bad Saturday night. But the school of thought in this community is that good and bad are human judgments. One experience may be more challenging than another, but every leap down the rabbit hole is a chance to learn about yourself. While no one sets out to do a super Hans, it'll be interesting to see, as any possible healing qualities, to see these drugs become more widely considered in the mainstream, whether uncomfortable trips will be seen as a growth opportunity by more drug users than just these rogue outliers. These rogue tires, these rogue psychonauts, these rogue awesome human beings, these rogue awesome aliens, may I say? Oh, y'all can't see me. I'm gonna making actions. Cool. Yeah, that was a dope article. And check out, if you just type in, I'll put in a link in the description if I don't forget though. Just type in Just Tai Now Trip to Hell. I titled that just so, I don't believe in hell, but I titled that so people can get an idea of what was going on. That I was in my personal hell. And I always knew it was like that. I always knew that it wasn't some God tormenting you or something like that. But it's stuff that's based off of what you bring to the table. What you bring to the table. Check out American Horror Story Coven, where one of the rites to become one of the witches that they had to go through was to go through hell. But then you see in the hell, it was related to their personal experience. I always just remember Precious, the awesome black girl that was there in the big one. Her hell was that she was working at a fast food chicken joint as the cashier. so she didn't really know what else to go. So that was what was going on. She had to deal with disgruntled customers, and that was her hell. And when I went to my hell, because I took 4 grams of psilocybin cyanescence wavy caps, and I'm seeing now that they're probably Alanine, which is stronger in cyanus, because when I upload pictures, people say that I'm wrong, I'm confused, and that it's Alanine, and that would make it even stronger. So that's about 6 grams of cubensis in the dark. And I bring that up right now in this story, because I know many people heard this before. What is because that's when I went completely into my hell, where I saw twisted bodies. I saw flesh being deteriorated, maggots crawling out of people's eyes. And before that, I was witnessing the girls that has been in my life, and the toll that was taken on me. And that was like a hell, because I always say, I already know in my emotional states in the past, like my most turmoil would be over girls and stuff, on like some Drake type stuff. Like that's why I stopped listening to Drake. But that all came up during my trip. My dad came up during my trip, and him being there, not being there, its effect on me. But I was calm with it. I in a way that I didn't let it. I was on fire, but I was still walking. I was like, I'm on fire, damn it. I was just going about it. And just facing my own demons, because I surely did feel it, but it was like being in a heavy metal song, like where they yelling at you about everything that you ever felt about yourself and how it was all fucked up and wrong. And when I faced it, and then after that, I was brought into a new light. but it made me a whole new person. Is literally as if the metaphor is not even metaphors. It's not even a simile, but it's like it is a simile and a metaphor and bigger all at the same time. As if I died right there, as if I signed my rights over and everything that was me, the good and the bad. It's like you're not just gonna give up the good things. Like, look at all the good things I did. Take me up to heaven. It's like, look at everything that you are. Because most of the things that was cool. Reconnected. But you come back as a person that's now ready and able to deal with what life has already thrown at you. Or has already given you. And the things that come next, you see it in a different light. It's probably not the greatest of lights. Like the biggest of light. Now it's a light it's a different light. Play a different game. It's more fun. It's more. It's different. It's interesting. Interesting. Say I gotta mention. Oh, thanks. See Marge. He wrote in the Discord, he said, love. Oh, I think I could do this. Wait. Alright. Let's make some magic happen. He said, at Just Tai, love the vids, keep it up. I enjoy sitting with the fam and absorbing your all-encompassing energy. Much love and peace to you. And I put this on so you can see him, because much love and respect to you, bro. Thanks. And even put it in my own words. Thank you for writing and creating this moment now for the podcast. And for introducing and just having your fam be introduced to having some conversations instead of just regular old conversations. You doing the do. Oh gosh, hold on. Let me do. Hold on, give me 1 second, bros. No, I don't want to play this ad. I'll be right back. All right. All right, we back. That was some copyright free music. I'm glad it worked. That was some copyright free music. All right, we back. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, my TS? TS? Whoop, whoop. I just got back in here. I'd say, what it means stream? Alright. What's going on, my TS? Oh, mate, we don't need to hear everything twice. Took 2 puffs of DMT yesterday. Couldn't stop smiling for like an hour. Oh, that must have felt beautiful. Was it like 2 puffs? Was it like a breakthrough 2 puffs, or was it like 2 puffs off a vape? Oh, I gotta set this up somewhere where it's not falling. Alright, set this right here. There we go. Alright, yeah, before all of this, we was talking about is these people, not even these people, but I think that article that I was talking about that I just had up before about let me put it back up. I gotta remember to use this touchscreen. About people deliberately horror tripping on mushrooms. Oh, 2 puffs of a joint, everything looks sharper. The air of the room. Man, that's just wild to me too that just happens so fast. So I'm guessing that you mixed it in between, sandwiched it like in a joint or something like that, and then you just need a couple puffs. That reminds me when people make changa and they mix it, and I heard they do changa with weed. Like they, instead of using a cappy pan or something like that, they just mix it up with the weed, like dissolve the DMT onto the bud. And then you just take a puff and it's like a membrane that can focus in me. Once I feel my heart and whatever, I feel good. Helps to the healing and moving forward. I'm trying to get that science. I'm just envisioning like a membrane, like a literal membrane, like a slither or something. Next week maybe we'll get some more and try. I'm scared. I don't think we ever not gonna be scared to go into these trips. I think that's part of the journey. Or have a sense of, I'm about to go out on an adventure. I don't know what happened. I don't even know if this. All I know is I got my life vest on. I just know I got my life vest. Man, but that's how you put it. That's like an instant OBE, an instant out of body experience. Like 2 puffs and you just out of your body. And it's so wild how much people stay in your body or just believe the body is all that it is. And that's another, I was just going through my mind. When it comes to being a psychonaut, like you become, it's wild because you really start dealing with all of your emotions. Like people would probably think that you like after dealing with psychedelics, they say, oh, he's a real confident person. He doesn't get scared of anything. Cause then like normal type human stuff, it ain't scary no more. It is scary. I mean, it's not scary, but it's like a breath of fresh air when you're doing something new. But like with But it's like you rid the fear of doing things and trying new things in this world, because all your fears is like, oh, no fears add up to this trip or add up to my trips. Like after my trips, I don't fear nothing, because ain't nothing as scary as that. It's nothing as scary as myself, I suppose. Monty said, if I wanted, I could meditate and all, but I was listening to and streaming, and the good vibes of the soul was so beautiful that I couldn't stop smiling. It's like it forces you to breathe, be comfortable in you. It's the only thing I need after all. Wow. A breath of fresh air. My mind was just trying to break apart what a breath of fresh air really means. Like a breath of fresh air. All the air here is recycled. It's been brought into trees. I mean, brought into our bodies, breathed out through our, converted in our bodies, and converted through trees, and brought out through all these animals. All the air here is kind of not fresh. And then you start sensing the ether. If you want to put a term on it, the ether. And this was like a whole nother air. And you're like, whoo, breath of fresh air. I'm sniffing some of this ether. And I know, and that feeling, it forces you to breathe, be comfortable in you. Yeah, I like that. I like that feeling. I like that feeling of just knowing that right now you're feeling good because all you had to do was just sit and breathe. You didn't have to go and do this and do that, or accomplish all these tasks and wait for a certain amount of time to pass for somebody to recognize it, or for you to really recognize it. Just took for me to, or for Monty's during the trip, to just sit there and notice what was going on by just breathing. And I know it sounds silly if you don't have these experiences, because you like, even like if you come from a religious standpoint, you mean like, yeah, I sit and breathe when I'm praying. And like in religion, that's the most time they only sitting and breathing is when they're praying. But like it's still like people don't recognize how much thoughts is as tangible as picking up things. Like the thoughts is as it's like as much effort. For me, it take as much effort for me to think about something as for me to walk or to actually do something. It's becoming the same thing for me. So I'm just putting it, just seeing how when you really moving and stuff. I don't know what I was just saying. That's just always my leeway. So you know when you, and then I always like to segue off of that. That's one of my segue lines. I was like, I gotta stay with it so much. I gotta stay with that curveball. Why am I making that sound? Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing your story. Well, it was something I was about to do. I guess I can tie more off of the only you thing because it just popped in my mind. As well as sitting there and having, like, just breathing and having whatever thought, and breathing, these thoughts start popping up that deal with just you in a way that only you can talk to you, or this alien thing can talk to you. Which you still see if, I don't know, it's like an alien talk to you, or you, how you can only talk to you. How something that was watching this game as a game could only say to you that's not lost in the game at all. And I guess that's what people term a higher self, aliens, entities, whatever the term. A transcendental part of you that carries the wave of everything. Yeah, it's a very transcendent part of you. Like something that recognizes this whole time that, hey, you just playing out some parts. And you get all wishy-washy at times. You need to just chill and breathe. And here, look, zoom out for a second. Zoom out. You playing the game. Hit save, put the controller down for a second. And breathe. I'm bringing up this example of like when you're playing a game and you're really into it and you keep losing over and over again, and then you pause it or turn it off for a while, come back like a day later, and then you start playing it, and then that boss, you start hitting combinations, and you're like, wait a second, this was not that easy yesterday. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, why is it like that? I see that as like in an in of a out of an in of a out of an in of a out. Like we're in and out of the game that we're playing. And this transcendent part of us that we experience during transcendental meditation or DMT and psilocybin experiences is that literally that other part. That's like, all right, let's just put the controller down for a moment. And then you come back and you're like, wait a second. Things starting to line up. It wasn't just this easy. Like for me, for my example, I didn't have my computer for a while. And then I had awesome experiences with some mushrooms. And then Ozo had his 10-gram experience, because Ozo was me, just like everybody is me. Everybody me. Just like everybody's you. But I literally take that on as everybody's me. Even all of y'all experiences. Like when I'm watching a movie, I'm in that movie. I'm experiencing what those characters are experiences, and I'm logging it in to some kind of data file. Or just experience it and logging it into some data file. But damn it. It's this tree too. This is some good tree. It's like, wait, you going too fast. Chill out. Oh man, now where was I? Yep. It's too many clues. It's too many options for where I was just at. What was the last thing I meant? I can do this. Things starting to line up. Wow. And then I had awesome experiences with some mushrooms. And then Ozo had his 10-gram experience. Oh yeah, everybody's me. I do have a buddy beside me. His name is Virtual Tai. iPad Tai. I can rewind his timeline back and forth. He exists inside of this virtual space. He does not exist outside of here. He is me, but he is not me. At the same damn time, you know? Just Tai. I had to ask him, like, what the hell? What did you just say? You just say, bro? Oh yeah, and then let's download back to this experience and keep it going. But Ozo, with his experience, I had these computers. See, I had these computers and they wasn't working. Like one of them, the screen was broke, and it was moving slow in all these other ways. And it didn't connect to the internet. The Wi-Fi chip and the wires inside was like got ripped somehow. And my other computer just stopped booting up. It wouldn't load up past the loading screen. So then I was just using all the videos y'all been seeing for a while. I've been editing them all on the tablet, all on the iPad with the capabilities that the iPad is able to give me. Not the iPad Pro, just the one before that one. So all of this, I've been editing and everything on there, and I've been doing the I've been microdosing has been allowing me to be creative with it, so I don't get so upset about the computer, and I was able to like really dive into the world of the iPad and say, oh, this what you can do, this what you can do, I can do this while I'm here. But then after Ozo Trip, when I was listening to it, he was talking about the blueprints, and he was seeing blueprints, and somebody can see the blueprints, they be able to put something together. Like after I listened, I was so like, it was like all this stuff was downloaded to me. And then I started talking about, I didn't even start talking about it. It just popped like, yo, I can mix and match my computers together and make one working computer. It was just that simple. And then it worked. And now we're here. Excuse me. And it's even better before, because now, like I mentioned in the beginning of this vid, we have 8 gigs of RAM instead of 4. So we can run some video things, because I want to get guests on here, like on video-wise. I want to get True on here. I want to try to get Kalindi. I want to get Ozo. I want to get anybody. I'm going to get my mama. And, yeah, it's fun. I just want to have fun. That's all I want. That's all I'm going to do. Not even just wanna. Because just wanna, it seems like a desire, as if I'm not already. You know? Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in your lingo, guys. Oh, it is sad. I'm trying to think of something about what Paul Stamm said. Because if y'all see that, check out Paul Stamm. He was on Joe Rogan. Paul Stamm is awesome mycologist. He was on Joe Rogan, and I bring it up because I made a timestamp of the whole podcast. Like, this what he was talking about here. I did it for the team. Paul. It was something he mentioned about. Dang it. He was talking a lot about bees. He's talking about bees, but it was something about the mushroom that he said that I forgot. And I'm going to do this. Hey, what's going on, King guys? Hello, Governor. Here it is. I knew it was something. I got the live working. Got the computer in the spot where it's not cutting off. But Martinez, you said, in every detail is rendered to preserve each message, maybe. Hold on, let me click back on this. Yeah, that's on the tie on. That every detail is rendered to preserve a message. That's what we be getting at, saying that everything is a musical playing alongside each other. Everything is playing its own individual notes. But it's not even an individual note. It's like each one is a whole chord. A whole interdimensional chord of what the fuck. And everything is just all playing together. And that's probably the music that we hear in trips too. Like the music of the environment, what's going on around us. There's always music going on. It's like, are we just tuned in? And I think that's why people in like high doses, I never went through this, but I hear about people in festivals where they'll take a high dose and then you'll see them just going through the sand and be like, yo, this sand is God. And you just see them playing and just being totally fascinated by what's going on. I think that's a real magical experience. A real experience. And I think that's where psychedelics help with art. And recognizing what people is really putting out there. And like the message that they really trying to get out there with their art. Because a lot of people make fun of modern, so-called modern art. And they like, what? They just painted some circles, or they just painted some squares, some colors on the canvas. Or some people don't even like abstract art. They like, what? That's not real art. Like, what are you doing? These guys are wasting their time. Like, it's supposed to be fine and fantastic. And not just all emotions all over the place. Like something like this. And I think it brings about a new appreciation of it. I think in higher doses, it brings a vast appreciation because you see how the art is actually alive. You go where art lives at. Like I was there where art lived at. I was in Thailand. I would say Salvador Dali land, but I paint just like him. So I call it Thailand. And it was a lot of awesome art there. A lot of awesome art that I hope that in the future I'm able to recreate, or that it just flows through me and I'm like, I don't know where that came from, and I just have a clue, like it was probably from that trip, or it's probably from that trip last night or last year or 5 years ago. And I just thought it was wiped from my memory, but it was always there. Like some stuff like that. So I think mushrooms, they really help you even produce art, like produce your own art, because you get in this, like, artists really are to the rest of the world somewhere else. But that somewhere else is really just to me even more grounded, more into yourself. That's why you're able to create things. Because when I wanted to get back into art, I was like, I gotta learn this technique, I gotta master this technique and do this and that. But now I just play around. I play around with the art and let it develop as it develops, as I just keep going. As long as I keep doing art, something is going to keep changing up, because I'm going to remember what I did last time. I'm going to say, oh, I don't want to do that again just because I want to do this now. Or, oh, that didn't feel good the last time, I want to do this now. Or just like really going with it and developing my own technique, instead of focusing on somebody else's technique and then saying, man, I'm not that good, or I'm not a good artist, or I can't really appreciate my art until it's at this level of mastery. I'm like, nah, man, it is what it is. I love what I do in every part of it. And that's art. As art, takes a real artist's eye to have appreciation for yourself and for things that only people in the so-called underground could appreciate. I've always been in the underground, even since rap. Even when I got into rap and stuff, I always listened to the people that was on mixtapes more than the people that was putting out, that was on the Billboard charts. And like the people just on the corner just trying to hustle mixtapes like they hustle dime bags, or they was hustling dime bags and mixtapes at the same time. And the random freestyles they would upload on the internet and stuff, just trying to get their little old message out. I always found a lot of heart in that, in people in the underground scene, because they like relying more on their dream than what is actually seen, because the means to have what is like their full vision is not there. So they fully in Wonderland and just giving you a taste of what if they keep on living in that Wonderland is going to be there. It's going to be there. And then it's like if when you're not in that Wonderland and you think you got everything you need already, you like, I just gotta use these tools and I can come off like this, and then they're gonna see me in this light and it's gonna be all good and I'm gonna make some money. And the thing about it, that works. It works. It works. It works. But mushrooms, they reveal they tear all that down, so you see like, yeah, it does work, but it ain't real. And it is real, but it ain't really real. It ain't really real. I don't feel it real. I can think that it's real. It's gonna get me bobbing my head. It's going to sell out probably. Ain't really there. Y'all know what I mean. Yes, Matias, you know where I'm going at. Why doesn't it say stream complete? Oh, is that Sahi? It just brought back a memory when I was doing lives more frequently in the past, and I just used to see a thumbnail pop up. It was like, yeah, good times. What y'all think about Kanye West's new movement? Yo, Kanye West. Kanye to the west of the west. That nigga took DMT before. He had to see something more. So is he playing a game? Or did he have a trip experience and he had people around him that was pushing Jesus and DMT at the same time? Did you notice people like that? Or did he not have a breakthrough dose with his DMT? Because I'm just going at it to start off with, because he had the song with Kid Cudi, and he was saying, I done died and lived on DMT. So I was taking his word for it. I was like, oh, he came out, he did some DMT. This nigga done died finally. So he saw the pearly gates, and he saw that they wasn't just so pearly. It was everything, and now he coming back. And now he can say that he bipolar and he's awesome and it makes sense. So I was like, oh. But now he talking about straight Jesus. Like straight Jesus. Not, oh, Jesus had cool things to say. Not, oh, Jesus was a awesome figure to look up to or anything like that. He's saying, like, no, praise Jesus. Praise literal Jesus. And he got his Sunday service going on. And I'm hearing people talk about him on a YouTube video. There's only one YouTube video I ever clicked about any of this. And it was a lady talking about, can we accept Kanye back into the black community? And she was saying, he remember he used to mention Jesus all throughout his career subtly. He make the Jesus Walk song. So can we accept him back like a prodigal son type deal? Like he was lost and now he's back into the true light of the revealing light of Jesus Christos. And it's very strange because Kanye has a lot of money. On top of that, he was in debt, supposedly, and now he made more money, like $136 million, $136 million this year, ever since he started this Jesus thing. The Jesus album and everything. And I'm like, does he just know what is working? No, here go a picture. Does he just know what is working and how to get people's mind to make some money? And he like, they ain't gonna want to hear my good vibes through me talking about psychedelics, so I gotta filter it through something that they gonna want to listen to? Or is he really... It's like, it's so many options. There's so many options that I haven't settled on yet. I haven't settled on an option yet, guys. Cause he wildin'. I'll just say he wildin'. Like, he always been wildin', and that's the character that he's came to do. Them Kardashians done brainwashed the boy. I don't know, cause was the Kardashians Christian before all of this? Why it's not loading up? Was the Kardashians Christians before this? They ain't seem like it. I ain't never heard them talk about Jesus. On King Jesus is King, Kanye's rap world becomes one big Sunday service. They teamed up with literal gospel artists. Fred Hammond, singer Ant Clements. Kanye apparently asked his collaborators to fast and refrain from premarital sex while working on the album. And Jesus is King is also a reflection of the clergy in one of the worst ways. There is a rather conspicuous lack of women in the credits. The only female performers are in the choir. That's what the God lady's saying. The song Nobody, which was played at an album event in Los Angeles shortly before the release, featured a Nicki Minaj verse and was cut due to creative differences. He's like, "You're a heathen! You're a heathen, Nicki! Even though we made all that money before, I gotta cut you out of this album. We made millions of dollars before. We influenced millions of little girls and boys. But not this time, because I found Jesus." Oh, they bringing up what I was bringing up, what I wanted to bring up. That Jesus sound what's that? That Jesus sounds a lot like Jesus. And I was with him in the past before I did psychedelics. And when he was calling himself Jesus, I was like, yo, he on to something. Like, man, it is more. We are the Christ. We are that character, Jesus. And that song, when he literally made a song called I Am a God. You know? And now he's doing this. Without, and the wild is that he's not addressing the things that I'm bringing up now. That he made a song called I Am a God. And that he called himself Jesus. And now he's saying praise Jesus. Well, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny you bring this up, Sahi. Thanks for bringing the conversation to this. Something funny to talk about. Some Earth Dimension Z142 types. No. Alright. Hold on. I gotta. There go the mouse. There go the mouse. There go the mouse. The gospel according to Kanye. Before the flood, people judge. They did the same thing to Noah. Everybody wanted Yad. Then Christ Jesus did the laundry. What if Eve made apple juice? You gonna do what Adam do? Or say, baby, let's put this back on the tree. Everything we need. I was looking at the gram and I don't even like likes. I was screaming at my dad. He told me it ain't Christ-like. Follow God. Yo, this is... No thanks. This ain't about a damn religion. Jesus brought a revolution. All the captives are forgiven. Time to break down all the prisons. God is. Cut out all the lights. He is the light. Whoop, whoop. Cut out all the lights. He is the light. Got pulled over. See the brights. What you doing on the streets at night? Wonder if they're going to read your rights. 13th Amendment. 3 strikes. Hands on. What they gotta do with... he's literally integrating his message and his philosophy. Whoop. Hey, where'd it go? And his philosophy with the Bible. His philosophy with the Bible. Now the Bible, the big Bible thumpers that don't even like hip hop, they gonna see this as the rise of the Antichrist. Like, yo, Trump president, Kanye doing this crazy stuff, and Jesus is about to really come soon. And then the people that's like not that accepted hip hop in the church, they like, oh wow, Jesus is really coming soon. Look how much his message is being preached more. We are forgiven for our sins. And I'm not coming down on anybody's religion. And that's not my goal right now. I'm just pointing out what I'm witnessing. Literally pointing out what I'm witnessing. The Bible, Kanye West version. And they gonna want to hear it from him. Like, I'm like, is he like, man, I'm gonna set myself up here as a god. I already am a god. Might as well set myself up as one. Confuses the mass. It's just more confusing to me because psychedelics whip this all out of you. That it's all just a story. It all is just it's all just a story. All wonderful tales. Because they really are wonderful. If they wasn't wonderful, then we wouldn't care for them. We wouldn't even care to go over them right now. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful how it all comes together. But yeah, I'll see how it goes and how people keep responding to it. Cause this is another thing that I want to look up. I guess I could look this up too. I'm gonna type it in while I'm right here. Billy Graham. Who's this? Let me make sure I'm saying his name right. Graham. Billy Graham is a preacher. There he is. He was a preacher that I used to listen to him when I was in the church because my grandmom used to listen to him all the time. But he was a real prominent preacher back, like, until he passed away. Until he passed away and went to another place or restarted in another game. But why I bring this up is because Paul Stamus, he started preaching he was a traveling preacher. He didn't just have one set setting. He was traveling. So this was before YouTube. So he was getting his message out around to different places around the country. And I was listening to Paul Stamus while that loads up. And he was mentioning that during one of his talks, somebody came up to talk to him. And it was somebody that was part of, and Paul Stamus is a mycologist. It was somebody that came up to talk. Somebody came up to talk to him about how he was part of Billy Graham's inner circle. And how in their inner circle, they take light doses of mushrooms. And they said that the things that he was spreading was real, that Paul Stamm was talking about was real important for Christianity because people have to know how to integrate it with the religion or something, stuff like that. So I said, wow, it really is people out here that are holding on to traditions or holding on to this idea of religion. Holding on to this idea of religion and psychedelics. Like, how big of an ego do you have to have to then push it onto people? To push it onto people through the character of a religion. Because you probably get insights, and especially during the beginning stages With me, I was still going back and forth between trying to mix and match with text that I was reading or grew up in, and try to mix match it with my experiences was with the psychedelics. And it was some correlations, but what was in the book was more hermetically sealed, and what was hermetically sealed was what I was experiencing. So the book was really just another story, just like a cartoon, or just like Kanye West can just write a quick audio Bible. And when it's written down, when you look up the lyrics, so it's already written out. Somebody going to write it into a book and sell it. The book of Kanye. I remember a quote he said last year or 2 years ago saying he was going to write a Bible. I remember this quote. Let me see if it's still up here. After I look up, if something comes up when I type in Billy Graham magic mushrooms. I'm going to look it up because I'm telling you, he's smart. He planted this shit up. Kanye. I'm going to type in wants to make a Bible. So I can see the time date on there. Well, we can. Alright. Is it load up? See, look, this stuff I was talking about. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Kanye. Kanye West prompts Christian group to give away 9,000 free Bibles. Free Bibles for Kanye fans. Group makes offer after Jesus. The American Bible Society, all in it. Kanye West replaces, and this was in 2015. This was in 2015. This article I just clicked on just now. It says, Kanye West replaces every mention of God in Book of Jesus. The Book of Jesus, a Bible for the modern day. Now, I don't be tripping, guys. He may be known for his admittedly massive ego, but surely even Kanye West would not have seen himself replacing God in the Bible. The holy books Genesis have been a rework for a modern day Bible, dubbed the Book of Jesus, and believe it or not, every mention of God has been changed to a rapper's name. Eh? I'm tired. In a sense, Kanye's awesome and orchestrated spectacle is truly a religious experience. A description of the book reads, for this Generation Y, Kanye West is not only its greatest spectacle, but in some senses a spiritual figure. And this was in 2019, guys. He was setting himself up. He was setting this up. In the forward, we could explore our charismatic, quick fix and information culture and celebrate Kanye and the outsized significance he plays in our lives. Fans can buy the Book of Jesus bound in a book hardcover gold leaf. Didn't I say somebody was going to do it? I know what I'll be feeling. You go open it. God chose me. He had a path for me. I am God's vessel, he said back in 2009. Hey, good morning. I'm about to get off. But my greatest pain... Go ahead, open the door so I can see you. But my greatest pain in life is that I will never be able to see myself perform live. That he could never see himself as God perform live? What's up, Kanye? Trends, man. Trends are real. The mushroom will let you know how this earth works and what goes on in the inner workings. It'll just tell you. You don't even need Google. I was trying to find that exact quote where he said he wanted to write a Bible. But I don't see it. Oh, but that's cool. That's cool. Because he can always say, I didn't do it. My followers did. Like, I didn't write this. I think I found something on that Billy Graham with mushrooms. I just gotta zoom in. Okay, let me let y'all see what I'm seeing. Alright. Trying to see if it was mentioned anywhere of Billy Graham and mushrooms. Oh, that's how you scroll. Like, what is this list? They done messed me up. I'm gonna get off of that. Alright. Hey, what's going on? It's a good thing I looked down. What's going on, Blaxican? I finally said it out loud. Now I know what it said. What your name is. Kanye sound like the author in the movie Mother. Oh, I was supposed to watch that. It was on Netflix, right? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it yet. I think that's the robot movie. Or the clone movie. I'm looking it up now. I'm gonna add it to the list. Add it to the list of things to watch. And Kanye, he doing, man. And I like seeing his programming though. I like seeing how his programming goes off. No, I'll make a video. I'll make a decode. I'm a screenshot. I don't even got a screen. I remember. Screenshot just in case because I said that.